Joining me right now is Disruptive Tech Research founder and chief analyst Lou Bassanese. Lou, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for being here. Look at this chart year to date, up 80%. What do you make of this move, and what are your expectations for Truth Social?
Oh, yeah, crazy times. I'd be crazy to buy the stock, but you got to be crazy to short it because this is a hype-driven stock for sure. I mean, it's up 10x from when the SPAC came public, and just the interest based upon President Trump having a new venue to say whatever he wants. And I really got to tell you, this is probably not going to be a popular viewpoint, but I just think this is going to flame out. I think you need to be on a platform that isn't compartmentalized by conservatives or liberals or independents. You all need to be on the same platform to really have engagement and to scale. And I'm just not impressed very much by this launch. I mean, the numbers right now are still very minuscule when we look at the overall landscape of social media. There's 3.5 billion social media users. We've seen some other upstarts like Getter and Parler come out strong out of the gates and then just flame out. And I think, unfortunately, no disrespect, Mr. President, I think this is going to be a similar outcome here.
Well, we'll see. I mean, you say compartmentalizing, but I think one of the reasons that they wanted to bring this thing forward is because you're seeing compartmentalizing on the other side on things like Twitter, where conservatives have gotten censored. We'll see.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that, Maria.
At the end of March. Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree with you, right? So conservative voices have been drowned out, have been overlooked on the conventional social media platforms. But that needs to change, right? The way to fix the problem is not to go outside the system. I think, honestly, if Twitter wants to disable Truth Social immediately, let President Trump back on the platform. It'll boost engagement and it'll make Truth Social, Truth Social dead on arrival. But I do think you need the active dialogue between differing viewpoints. You need controversy to spur on engagement. Now, to your point, we haven't seen fair treatment of opposing viewpoints, and that's the big problem right now, right? We have bias embedded in social media.
Yeah,
right, but
that's the whole point, though, because you're not getting that.
This, right? So I would tell you the critical mass
places like Twitter. You're not getting that on places like Twitter and elsewhere because there is so much censoring going on. Devin Nunes is the CEO of the Trump Media and Technology Group. He joined me on Sunday. Here's what he said about Truth Social. Watch.
This week, we'll begin to roll out people on the Apple App Store. That's going to be awesome because we're going to get so many more people that are going to be on the platform. And then, look, our goal is, and I think we're going to hit it. I think by the end of March, we're going to be fully operational, at least within the United States.
I mean, I would say you don't really want this to be a government problem, right? You want to create competition, and that fixes the problem of censorship. Do you not agree that it's better to see more outlets out there that are trying to compete and create competition as opposed to having a new regulatory framework that tells these companies how to behave?
No, look, we're in perfect alignment philosophically. I hate big government. I'm just being a realist as an analyst here and an investor saying, let's look at what the valuation is. What is the proposition for this new company to scale? And I just don't see it happening. There's not going to be much international appeal to become a viable investment that justifies a $3+ billion valuation. You need to have 50 million users, 100 million users, get to 300 to 400 like you see with Twitter and Snap. And I don't know that that's realistic if it's just a platform for uncensored conservative or more conservative voices. I think, again, I hate to say this. We've been talking about big tech regulation. I've been on so many times on your show talking about it for years, right? Something needs to be done to open up so that voices can be heard on the platforms that are the biggest. So competition is great. It's healthy. I just don't know that Truth Social has a competitive edge here. And a key point in this is I downloaded the app yesterday. You had Nunez on here saying, like, hey, we're going to be fully scaled up and launch March 31st. I'm going to say probably not. The message I got yesterday is we want you to know you're not just a number. We love you, but here's your number on the wait list. I'm 501,325. So they can't even onboard all the users that want to get onto the platform. That's a key problem from a business standpoint right out of the gates.
And it also shows the demand. But I want to get your take on some of the policies and really disruptive policy on big tech. A new report from Politico shows that at least 17 lawmakers tasked with overseeing and regulating big tech have children that previously or currently work for Meta, Amazon, Google, and Apple. Among the list is Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, whose two daughters work for Facebook and Amazon, California Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren, and Delaware Senator Chris Van Hollen. Do you think we're actually going to see legislation that keeps these companies accountable? We're doing a big special on Fox Nation this week where I was able to speak with parents and families who have serious concerns about what's going on some of these platforms. I mean, take the challenges for one, the challenge of swallowing laundry detergent, the challenge of dancing and jumping out of a moving vehicle so that you could dance and land on your feet, the challenge of, getting your belt and seeing how tight you can tie it around your neck. I mean, some of these things are absolutely outrageous, and they are still there on social media, not to mention the how-to. I don't even want to tell you the how-tos that I found on YouTube. How-to, I'm not going to continue.
No, listen, I have two teenage kids. I don't want them getting on there anymore either because of all these things. We've talked about it. I mean, the Facebook files have shown social media has definitive negative effects, particularly for young women, which is just, we can't ignore. But here's the thing, right? The tangled webs that politicians weave, their kids are now working for big tech, which they're going to try and regulate. Right. It's one thing to say you're going to be tough on big tech and tough on crime, but what happens when your kid is the criminal, right? This is a true litmus test here. Are politicians really going to back up their tough talk? I have a hard time believing it's going to happen when some of their kids are actually lobbyists for big tech. So this really comes down to, is there ever going to be any action to moderate the content? And, we've talked about this before, Maria. Facebook has always made excuses. Well, the platform's too big. We can't moderate the content. That's just a bunch of malarkey, right? There's AI systems where they know that they can moderate the content. They have plenty of money to do it, making, billions, tens upon billions of dollars a quarter. There's just no excuse for it anymore. And it's time for politicians to force their hand. And I just don't know that it's going to happen.
Senator Marsha Blackburn told me this weekend that she does think that her legislation is going to go up and move and come up for a vote, her and Richard Blumenthal, but we'll see. She wants to hold these companies accountable for all of those reasons I just mentioned. Lou, thanks very much. Great to talk with you and checking in with you, Lou Bassanese.